One. Hello and welcome to Rony's Tuesday Fun Race, round 17 of the 2021 season with the RB4 at Fern Bay Black Alternative reversed. We've had Fern Bay Black Alternative a couple of times on the stream, but not in the reverse direction. I'm Peter Butcher, and I'm joined tonight in the commentary box by Eoin Harmon. Eoin, have you watched a race around here? It is quite a long circuit, a lot of corners.
I'd say I've watched a version of FE4 in the past, or maybe FE3 reverse, something like that. But in this configuration, I don't think I have.
No, it is interesting. We'll get onto the track map in a moment, so anyone who's unfamiliar can see where the drivers are going to be going this evening. Here we are, round 17 of the championship. Next time out in 2 weeks, we take the UFR to Aston again for the 18th round of the championship, the 262nd RTFR that's ever been. But anyway, tonight, let's have a look at what the drivers are up against. They have to navigate the alternate edition of Fern Bay Black Reversed with the extra little loop at the top section. We like to call it the Villa because there's a villa on the top of the hill there, Owen, which is why it gets that name. 60 minutes of qualifying have been underway, and we've got 8 minutes left. Then we'll have a 10-lap race. Doesn't sound like many laps, but it is a 6.9 kilometre, 4.3 mile track, so plenty of driving to be done. And that'll go on for about 30 to 35 minutes. Alrighty, without any further ado, Owen, what's going on the track?
We have another Sidus driver on pole position, but I am very interested to see Lorenzo well in contention here, 400ths of a second behind Sidus Unite. Ricardo another 400ths behind, and Twin Cam on camera here is occupying fourth, so very strong showing for two of our major teams and one of our favorite solo drivers as far as I'm aware. So very exciting stuff with 7 minutes 23 to go.
Yeah, and taking a look at this car, the RB4 2-litre turbocharged inline-4 front-engine rear-wheel drive car, weighing in at 1.2 tons with 243 horsepower. So it's got quite a lot of power. Going to the wheels. And you mentioned the Drivers and Teams Championship, Owen, so it's probably about time that we ran down those. Now, this list grows ever longer every week, but it is Rick Cardle and Unite who are basically dueling it out at the top. There are 12 points separating those two. Then it's Mandula and Yoni in P3 and P4. It's a pretty tightly contested competition at the top, Owen, but further down, as you can see, there's quite a void between some of the drivers, mainly because this is a pickup series. It happens every 2 weeks, and drivers can drop in and drop out, and that's fine. We don't mind that as long as we see decent sized grids every week, which we have again today. But yeah, at the top, seriously close. And if you can see your name on this list, then we'd love to have you back in RTFR at some point in the future, if there is a combo that takes your fancy. So we're well over 100 entries, scoring at least 1 point in RTFR. 120 now, so we're going to our 7th page of results.
Yeah, we're getting into short stories territory. We could almost write a book.
Yeah, almost.
122, yeah.
That's a lot. Well, anyway, thanks for participating in RTFR. There's still plenty of rounds left in this series, but there you are. That's the page that really matters. That's the page where we'll see some prize money going out to some drivers later on in the year, at the end of the season. In the Teams Championship, it's a bit simpler, really. We've got Team Sidus miles in the head of Race Green, who are in a bit of a battle with Born to Race. That is the story of the Teams Championship. Then we've got World Class Lions, who are sponsoring the series, of course. Money towards the teams and some towards the Drivers' Championship. Then we've got MRC, Fragmaster, Sim Broadcasts, Father and Sons, Zephyralice, Alma Course, and Fortunato Racing Team, with a solitary point there in 11th place. That's enough standings, Owen. Let's head back to the action.
As a new pole sitter, Ricardo has amassed the top time, breaking into the 3-minute 12s there. I was almost not concentrating, but he just punched it in the time when it mattered, and that puts a lot of pressure on Unite with the championship in mind. Nearly a second difference there all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm noticing again that Yoni Katilla has decided to leave it very late to try and set a lap in RTFR. He is pretty high up in the championship standings, but he's left it very late again. He's only got 4 minutes 20 to set a time, and he's only just left the first sector, if I'm right. But we'll have to wait and see. He's got a long drive around. It's nearly 3 minutes, isn't it? So, by the time you've got around, it is in fact 3 minutes. 3 minutes 12 our pole time. So Yoni is going to get one shot at this, as Donny goes very wide and into the wall, and aborts it by the sounds of it. No. Yeah, pretty much he's given up on that attempt. So, only a few more minutes to go in this session, and only half a minute to cross start finish if you want to be able to set a time. It's probably unlikely that anyone except Rick Cardle, Unite, and the top runners will set a 3 minute 12 or 13. That is a huge void between P1 and 2. It is a long track though, Owen.
Yeah, it is another case of a endurance style track, pushing the limits of drivers. And I was just about to mention Redbot. He's put in the 10th best time, seemingly from nowhere at all. So, very, very opportune moment there, getting his race green into the top 10.
He'll get another attempt as well. He's crossed the line with just over 3.5 minutes to go. So if he doesn't like this lap, he can back off and just about make it across start finish for another one. So yeah, Redbot is one to keep an eye on at the end of this session. Currently P10, very respectable time. Like he's aborted it though.
No. Yeah, he's joined the spectators. That's it.
So he could have got one more lap in if he wanted to, but he's decided enough is enough. Here's Teemu Soini, P8, likes the RB4, does Teemu. And you can see why. 2.9 seconds off pole, but it doesn't matter. It's a solid top 10 for the world-class Lions driver. He too has backed off, but I wonder if he's going just for one last hurrah in this session. Rick Cardle has made it across start-finish. Try and set a final time. This doesn't look like it's flat out lap, so we'll have to keep an eye on what it ends up being, but yeah, he might just be out there for some sighter laps. We'll have to check it out later. But he is comfortably in the lead. The rest of the drivers are going to have to do something pretty magic to beat him, including Yoni Katilla, who is out on track, I believe.
Yeah, he's just crossed the start finish, and he's on the grass on the turns 2 and 3. Yeah, the turn 2 actually was turn 2, but it's okay in this car.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, he has to set a lap. Otherwise, he risks not starting. There are 24 times on the board as Yoni runs wide again. He has left everything to the last minute here. We'll have to wait and see what he ends up doing in this session. He runs wide again, so a pretty scrappy beginning to the lap. Like I said, does have to finish this, Owen.
That's right, yeah.
I wonder what it's going to be. This will be quite interesting. He is one of the final cars actually to cross the start-finish line. There's a minute to go for anybody who wants to set one final lap.
Well, Mandula is another driver who's pitted, so their session's over. And top 5, if Yanni can't do better than that, that'll be an impressive run for Mandula yet again. It's one of the tougher corners if you hit that curve ball wrong. That would be... What corner would that be? About turn 13, yeah. So turn 13 before the chicane. And now heading downhill for a long, just an enduring hairpin curve, and now uphill for turn 18, another curve but more sharper angle. Now Rick Cardle pretty much has the pole in the pocket. I think LG Meese would love to get into the 327s just so you can catch up to, actually that's Sidus Gabor. 22nd position. I don't know if he has another attempt, Pete, but that'll be a long slog for Gabor, or I think Gabor. That'll be a huge effort to finish near his teammates if he chooses to race.
A lot of, well, an absolute monster effort if he wants to try and do that. Yoni's into the final sort of sector of the track, and got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. Shouldn't factor, but let's see. I am interested to see where Yoni can put this car. Runs wide again there, not too bad. He's catching this car quite quickly though. Hopefully they see what's going on and move out of the way, unless they're also trying to put down a lap.
Yeah. Yeah, they've realised, yeah.
That's
gotta
good.
be Mies, yeah.
And Mies has moved out of the way. Mies is qualified. He's in P24. Let's see what Yoni manages. Final chicane. Nice line through there, actually. It's a bit wide. Four-wheel drift to the finish. Almost manages to get back to the apex. And let's see, up the start-finish straight. Will it be... Where will it be? I wonder where this will be.
I think it's a 318 actually, yeah. 318.
Yeah, so 16th. So a lot of work for Yoni to do in the race that he's just left it too late in the qualifying session, really. Maybe he had a busy day. Anyway.
It's the way of the world, unfortunately.
Rickardle been out. Is he come back out on the track? I'm not sure if he's on the lap.
Says he's on a lap, yeah.
Is he registering splits then? Is that what's going on? Seems to be fairly early.
He's crossed sector 1 here now. Should be about this moment.
See if there's a split time registered for Rickardle.
No.
Yeah, he is not on a lap. Didn't think so. So one of the final cars to cross the line was going to be Redbot. We'll have to wait and see who it'll be.
The Hip Mooley and SPTV's Falca both near each other into the final chicane. Turns 27, 28 coming up.
Yeah, we've also got Pit Lane Racer, who is yet to set a time. He's just coming across start finish. Goes P26, so that's last. 29 seconds off pole. He will qualify though. Just.
Yeah, Magic I think is on the lap as well. Or just seeing him on camera.
Yeah, I think Magic's our last car. That will be coming across the line. 4.8 seconds off pole in 12th. This looks like a tidy end to the lap. Let's see if it can be an improvement for race green. Mandula currently highest placed for race green. Magic just behind his teammate Redbot, who aborted a run. It is an improvement. It moves just up ahead by, well, not a lot at all. Less than a second. Less than 2/10, or just over 2/10. Good effort there. Pabluski doesn't have a time in the board and won't either because he is not on a lap.
Yeah, that'll be race to the discretion of Rony, I presume.
Yeah, pretty much. We'll watch Rick come round. We may as well. Lorenzo's done a very nice job of being within a second of pole in the RB4 around here. That is a really good effort to be alongside those Silas guys. And there we have it. That is qualifying. Let's get the full rundown of the order for the start of round 17 of the 2021 Championship, the 261st Rony's Tuesday Fun race that's ever been. That is a lot of RTFR. But it is Rickardle, our championship leader, who starts on pole ahead of P2 in the championship, Sidus Unite. Then it's Lorenzo, Twincam, Mandula, Donny, Meranui, Timu Soini, Thahamuli for Zafaralis. Then it's Sim Broadcast's very own kid, Zdeněk Sagash there in P10. Magic P11, Redbot for race screen in P12, Yari Katila for World Class Lions P13. Then it's Sidus' Gabor, well out of position, I have to say. Didn't expect to see him all the way down there. Monty McCarry, head of number, and World Class Lions Yoni Katila under the pseudonym of True Alpha for this series. Then it's BR Igor in P18, Rayman for Born to Race in 19th, Pedro BR in P20. Second page of results in 21st, it's Yaroslav Donlik. Then it's Tila Falkenberg, Rony Krompush in P23, Ivanov P24, LG Mies 25th, and Pit Lane Racer backing up the grid in P26. Owen, we're going to go for a short break. The race kicks off in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys.
Yeah, see you in a moment.
– 2
Hello and welcome back to Rony's Tuesday Fun Race 2021, round 17 at Fern Bay Black Alternate Reversed in the RB4. Owen, pretty interesting qualifying session. Not much is really to be, well, not much surprise at the top, but lower down, definitely some surprises. Gabor and Eoin a little bit out of position. They'll be climbing up. There'll be ones to watch throughout the race. And yeah, good qualifying from Lorenzo and Twin Cam too.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have like the high quality at the top, and then more wonderful standard drivers in the middle as well. So that should make this race around Fern Bay very intriguing indeed.
Good indeed. We have the race is supposed to be getting underway just about now, so hopefully we can get that to you just as soon as possible. But it is going to be 10 laps around this 6.9 kilometer circuit, so very long. It's a lot of corners. I mean, look at the amount of circles and stuff on that track map. It is kind of crazy. 29 corners as far as we can tell around here. That's a lot of work to do. So 290 turns are coming up in just a couple of moments time. Owen, the run down to turn 1 here is extremely short. We'll have at least 26 cars thundering down there, and well, they're RB4s, so they've got plenty of grip. What's going through a driver's head as they fly down towards the turn 1 hairpin here at Fern Bay?
Well, they'll be looking out on their mirrors. Any drivers that might miss the corner could wind up alongside them, and there'll be a traffic jam for a while. But I'd say by turn 6 and 7, there should be a bit of filtering done, and the drivers should be hopefully pointing in the right direction.
Absolutely. Well, we're just here waiting for the lights to go green. We have 4 lights on the gantry, and we are green for round 17 of the 2021 RTFR Championship. Good start from Rick Cardle. Off he goes, and he's already actually lost a place to Unite. Yeah, that's a shock. Take it away, Owen.
Away they go. Twin Cam takes third place from Lorenzo as well, and in fact Lorenzo's struggling a bit, but Unite holding the lead for the moment. Drivers staying in formation in the top 10. Oh, we have Gabor trying to make lunges on Redbot and maybe Magic as well, but didn't quite materialize. The world-class Lions hunting in a pack here. They want to prevent Sidus from getting that 1, 2, 3. And it's Jari Katila understeering into Gabor's path. Thankfully, they're not going to take each other off, but there is a bright green car on the grass. I couldn't tell exactly who it was. We're looking now at True Alpha, Jari Katila, seeing if he can avoid those tires on the inside, and more cars just wobbling around the place. Yeah, he's just watching out for those drivers behind him. Pedro Bior and Mati Mercari getting very close for comfort. And there we go.
Yeah, I was watching him because it was actually, it was Gabor and him who were battling. So they've kind of ended up together, and I assume they'll probably work their way through the pack one after the other. But it is Rick Cardle who's dropped to P2, goes very wide, clips the cones almost. And look at this, Twin Cam is on absolute pace. He's caught right up to the back of Rick. Rick's a little bit on edge at the moment. Let's see, can he retain this position from Twin Cam, or will Twin Cam pick him off at some point towards the end of the lap? We're approaching about the halfway stage of the lap, around the next bend. This is the Villa section, which is an addition to the standard Fern Bay Black configuration. And here he goes. Let's see, will it be a move into the chicane, out of the chicane, or into the next left-hander?
Yeah, to me it'd be the next left-hander. The chicane shouldn't be too troublesome, and as a matter of fact, Rick Cardle does get loose. Twin Cam doesn't have the pace to catch up as Lorenzo times out.
Yeah,
Lorenzo's gone. So this is the most difficult corner on the track. You've got a very gentle right-hand curve, and then you have to be slamming on the brakes for this acute left-hander, and that can go seriously wrong. We have to watch out for drivers in the mid-pack for that corner. There they are in the background.
Yeah, Twin Cam got that a little bit wrong. He understeered into the wall slightly. You could just see that Rick Cardle took a tighter line, and that's opened up the gap to well over half a second now between second and third place. This is a close battle. Iron Donny is fighting off Marenui, through the hill section, and it's Teemu Soini who's made up a place since the start. In fact, everybody ahead of him has, because of Lorenzo timing out. And yeah, Hamuli, he's had an impressive race as well. Top 10 for him. I think that might be one of his better performances of the season, Owen, so far.
Yeah, definitely seeing new drivers taking a chance to run in the spotlight here. McElroy is a fresh name in my estimation. I don't recognize that name. But we're now checking out Gabor on the prowl now, trying to get his name into the top echelon. But Jari Katila's having none of it. The extra runoff area should help Gabor here. Katila runs wide. Oh yeah, he's a bit all over the shop, I'm afraid. And there's contact. Not enough, thankfully, to cause a spin. But the awkward thing for Gabor here is that the sun is here to distract. And he's running as hard as he can, using the grass on the outside if he wants it. So this is Gabor focused on trying to gain one without losing one either.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, this midfield battle, Yoni Katila's just made it around Redbot, so he can close up to the back again of Gabor and start slicing his way through the pack. We are registered on the timing tower that position has changed. Unite leads by just over 0.8 of a second to his teammate Rick Cardle. And if Unite keeps doing this, that championship lead is going to keep coming down and down before Unite eventually takes over the lead. It is so close, only 12 points separate them as Unite hits the wall, actually, the infamous Jamaica wall there. And that's going to allow Rick to just draw up alongside almost as we head through this Mickey Mouse chicane. And then there's nothing between them again. These two really are evenly matched in this series. And it is not easy to be fast and to be high up in the championship in RTFR. You've got to be so versatile. We see Rick going for the move around the outside. He's going to be on the inside for the next right-hand hairpin. And Unite's just got a... Oh, Unite hasn't defended that at all. Unite's gone seriously deep. Not entirely sure what he was thinking there.
It's the undercut, perhaps.
Yeah, but it's not a place to do an undercut. You don't want to be side by side with your teammate through the chicane, and Nico has to yield. Not sure why he did that.
He was on the handbrake. It didn't pay off, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, Rick's taken over the lead again on Unite.
Now those braking meter boards, they're very misleading. As it normally tells drivers to go to the right, but as a matter of fact they have to swift to the left. And Twin Cam gains a lot in that sector. So it's a three-way duel for the victory now. And it looks like drivers running in the mid-pack are separated well enough to avoid crashing into each other at turn 22. So everyone is keeping tidy. But something must have happened to Number down in 21st now. He was mid-pack. So he must have had a struggle on the opening lap. 1.9 laps, I suppose. Oh, Jari. Yeah, I'm just looking at Jari Katila versus Gabor. They were very close to contact into 26. Two wheels for the Katila family there. Gabor looking out behind now. But Kid is the driver ahead, trying to defend the top 10. Fastest lap by Mandula, 3:16.52. But it's going to be very difficult for him to really compete for the win, as the Sidus guys are just going to keep focusing away and working hard. Gabor really looking for the opportunity. Oh, he might have yielded too much to Yanni. It's going to be so close.
Yeah, good stuff. Amidst all this kerfuffle, it's Mandula who set the fastest lap of the race. He's in P4. We've seen Mandula just being consistent in recent races, and that really is paying dividends for him. He's 2.8 seconds off the lead, but we've seen Rick Cardle and Unite squabbling pretty hard in this race so far. And if they keep doing it, they will start to give away time to the drivers behind, and who knows what that will cause. It's kind of like the Verstappen-Hamilton in F1 2021 at the moment, where at some point Sidus may end up taking each other out. I hope they don't, but it's getting pretty close in the championship. They're going to start wanting to open the gap to one another. Yeah, I wonder if it will happen at some point. Right now, it's Rick who leads comfortably ahead of Unite. The battle so far has been pretty clean.
Yeah, very commendable so far. Just that single mistake from Unite. He mightn't feel it was a mistake to a great extent, but definitely his decision in the braking zone for 19 was less than optimal. So that's changed the lead back to the way it was at qualifying.
So it is Rick Cardle for Sidus who leads his teammate Unite. Then it's Twin Cam for Born to Race who's keeping up with those two, but the gap is starting to go up. It's gone over a second now. Mandula, he's further behind, but with the fastest lap of the race. If he can keep up that pace, then maybe in the 7 laps we've got left, that gap may come down. Donny, as we've become used to expecting in RTFR and other series, is holding a very respectable P5. Then it's Morenwi, who is new to us in the commentary box. He's in P6. Kimi Soini, who is very much a name we are very used to, driving a car he really enjoys in the speed, the RB4, in P7, which is a good position for him right now. Then we've got this huge gaggle of cars, and we've got Kid in the mix, Hamuli leading it at the moment with Magic, then Yari, Attila, Gabor, and Yoni.
Yeah, Gabor's gained position on Yari. There was a side-by-side just before the right-hand kink for turn 22. Gabor made a count on the inside line, and he's finally got the better of Catella Senior. Maciek was almost beaten to the punch as well by Gabor, but he held on using his traction and acceleration. Kid and the Hibmuli ahead having a ding-dong affair. So watch out for this chicane now, kids. Oh, he had to recover the counter slide. Goes deep for the hairpin now. Oh, I think the camber could help the Hibmuli's run. Maciek on the slipstream. What's he going to do? I think, yeah, single file now. This is the sensible choice. Unless Maciek fancies a big lunge. No, not to be. This is definitely the second best battle of the day, I think.
Yeah, well, Gabor's
gone
off the track to try and get round Magic, and it hasn't quite paid off yet. Magic's giving him a squeeze. He's perfectly entitled to do that, and Gabor's going to try and run it around the outside. Magic didn't fully commit to that move, and that's let them be side by side through this double right, and Gabor will have the advantage here on the inside. And there's two cross lines.
Yari understeers.
Yeah, so Yoni makes up another place. It is now Magic who separates Yoni from Gabor. And Thamuli still doing a great job of battling with Kid, staying ahead for now.
Let's give more drivers a bit of airtime. Falca versus Rony versus Donnelly. That could get tasty into sector 2, I believe. It's coming up now. Oh, Thilo having to brake a little early to avoid going offline. Rony has a run coming up in one of the higher speed portions.
I have to say, the front end of Rony's car is one of the most terrifying RB4s I've ever seen. Look at it. It looks like a cat or something. I don't know what's going on there, but that is quite terrifying. He's got a good run, and he sweeps around the outside of Thilo and will be ahead before the Mickey Mouse chicane. So that was job done. What a scary car.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of artwork. Yeah, I thought it was a bit of damage, but actually no, it's a clever piece of artwork. Yeah, feline style, I think.
Yeah, certainly resembling something like that. Anyway, Unite's got a good run through the chicane. I don't know whether he's going to be content with sitting in the slipstream of Rick Cardle after he essentially gave him the place down into the hairpin they've just been through on the last few laps, a couple of laps ago.
Oh, Mandula and Donny getting close for comfort. So Mandula's fastest lap of the race, since that was set about 2 laps ago, it's not going to factor into his chance to gain a victory. So we need to hang on in there. And now we're looking at Maciek here, Pete.
Yeah, well, something's happened to Thamuli. He's dropped way down. He was battling with Kid a moment ago. He's got a lot of damage on the rear right and left of his car, actually, and there's a bit more contact there with that Sidus car of Gabor. But yeah, not good. I wonder what's gone on here, because True Alpha is miles ahead now of Gabor as well. I think we missed something pretty big.
That's a massive development.
Yeah, so I wonder if the Muli was involved in that too somehow. His car is not looking great at the moment. Kid's fared the best out of that. He's way up the road.
Yeah, Gabor says enough is enough. I'm heading through. Oh, he'll need to chip in with those hot laps now for the second half of the race.
This is the view back from Kid on the fast-charging Yoni Catilla. Yoni well outside the top 10 as when he started this race. He's now in P9. He'll want as many places back, of course, as possible to try and regain something from this round. Because if he wants to keep his place in the championship, he will need to. Unite's moved ahead of Rick Cardle. It's happened in the last sector. Unsighted to us, the commentary box, but there we go. Unite back ahead of Rick Cardle. Hopefully this time he can keep it without giving it away at hairpins.
Yeah, that's the mission now. We're going to continue on with our focus on the top 5 battle. 5th place Donny versus 4th place Mandula. Getting past the first sector now. This is another part of the track that can prove treacherous, but in fact Donny goes around using the outside into the inside, and he's easily through Mandula. Rather unsettled.
Yeah, Mandula basically gave him that place. Donny set that up perfectly, gave him the dummy, and that was that. Tilo Falkenberg is having a battle with Yarda at the end of the back straight. He's through. He's managed to get that place done.
Yeah, so that's -2 for Denley since I was paying attention to him. He was ahead of our good friend Thilo and Rony as well. So he lost out on some positions.
Similar colour scheme between those cars, just in a different order.
Yeah, you could say that, alright. Yeah, a bit more 80s style, I think, to the Euro Oil car. But now the lead battle picks up all over again. It should be enough of a run here if Unite hangs on through this chicane, clipping the inside tyres, but no drifting necessary, thankfully.
Yeah, Rick's taking a lot more chances. Unite's taking a lot more chances through the chicane. Trying to, sort out his, trying to keep his races as far away from Rick Cardle as possible. Just saw Igor losing a couple of places there, I think.
And Merenui has actually overtaken Mandula as well. This is a distressing lap for Mandula, I'm afraid.
I wonder what's happened to Mandula. We've got True Alpha. Yoni's just got past Kid. So Yoni is now well inside the top 10. He's now in 8th. Next sector. And Gabor has got past Magic as well. It seems like we're just a little bit too late with these overtakes today, Owen.
Yeah, it's just such a long sector, so it's really hard to spot them when they happen. Yoni made a little mistake. I think it was turn 24, just got the rear wheel onto the grass and sent him at a 45-degree angle when he was hoping to keep it straight, but Kid won't be able to capitalize just yet.
I wonder if this.
Oh my goodness! Unite has made some sort of mistake in the first chicane. Ricardo just needed a little bit more to get side by side, but the pressure's absolutely ramped up on the race leader. It could have been a innocuous mistake. So far he's able to hang on, but it might not be for much longer, Pete.
Yeah, these two having a race all on their own. I bet they're having a great time, as Rick Cardle does, in fact, go to the inside. A bit of information on Merenui. He's driving with a Tiger Express Motorsport skin on, which could be a clue as to his pace, because Tiger Express Motorsports are a team from a bygone age in Live for Speed, really. Like I said, it's a name I don't recognise, but I certainly recognise the livery. And maybe it's just a return to the game, potentially, for Merenui.
Yeah, possibly so, yeah.
But anyway, Rick Cardle gets back ahead of Unite. Those two have been, handing positions to each other all race long. It's normally been Unite giving places to Rick. So far, it seems that way anyway. Donny, P4 after getting past Mandula. Merenui catching up to Donny as well. But I don't know whether Mandula's struggling with tyres or something, because he's being caught by Team Lusoini. no disrespect for Timu Soini, but you would expect normally Mandula to be on the opposite side of the track to Timu. But like I said as well, Timu does like this car, and Mandula's struggling right now.
Yeah, the instinct might be correct there. With the front left, it's a sort of light brownish color. It's not anywhere near it should. It's life expectancy. It's very, very ominous for Mandula, and he could lose his position in the next 4 or 5 corners. It's single file running for now, but definitely Mandula's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you can just see the car is just so lethargic out of the corners. It's just not getting any grip, and there's a whole train of cars behind Mandula, and we're only halfway through the race, Owen, and it's a long lap, so he's going to get caught and mugged by all those guys, I reckon, by the end.
Yeah, that is very, very likely. So it's a real shame for Mandula. Something went wrong in his driving style or the setup, and it means this turn 22 is going to be absolute torture. But Timu is just hanging back for the moment. He's probably waiting for that mistake rather than battling and then maybe distracting his teammate.
Well, he can't wait too long because Yoni Catilla's behind him, and we know how fast Yoni can be when he sets his mind to it. He's dropped the guys behind. He's in 8th place, and he wants to pick up 7th and maybe even 6th from Mandula. I think with his current pace, it's easily doable for Yoni.
Oh, Gabor's cutting the grass at the sequence between 24 and 25.
Yeah, Magic's got back past.
Yeah. That could be a sign of frustration for Gabor. You really don't want to go on the outside if you're on the grass. And Pedro Bior versus Yari Catilla at the final hairpin, side by side. That's Yari for position if he can get a good run into the next chicane coming up. No, it doesn't look like he's got it for the moment. Needs more slipstream to aid his endeavour.
Here's this battle I was talking to you about before. Mandula leading the 2 world-class Lions cars. Both of the cars ahead of Yoni have gone off, so Yoni's just going to say thank you to his teammate. I think Timo even lifted off a bit there to let him through. A bit unnecessary. But there we are. Yoni is now going to try and get past Mandula immediately. You can just see the black lines being left by Mandula's car. He's got nothing left to give. And Yoni's able to just do him around the outside, or is he? He goes into the wall.
Oh, it's just perilous altogether. Mandula now in the world class Lions sort of radar here. So he really wants a bit of breathing space now in this very tough sector. And Kid just behind Mandula, as a matter of fact, or behind Timu and behind Kid or Mandula on the camera. That could be very, very spicy.
I mean, we don't often see sim broadcast cars in the top 10. It's kind of difficult not to be excited for him. Kid's having a great race here. Like, he just swung past Timu Soini. We're meant to be unbiased too, Owen, but it's a little bit difficult when you've got Kid basically just driving past cars as if they're not even there. Here he goes. He's going to try and get past Mandula as well. Go on, Kid.
Yeah, the old pride and joy for Mr. Butcher here. And he's got bang through the middle there. Kid should be safe and sound, but I think Timu was allowing people through because he knows that 14, 15, 16 chicane can cause heavy destruction to cars, and Mandula, I really think his car has had enough with those tires.
Well, they're going to be side by side. I wonder who's going to yield. It's probably Timu. Yeah, Timu's yielded on the brakes miles before the corner, as usual. Timu doesn't like to take any risks at all. That is something that you definitely can associate with his driving style. But look at the gap that he's opened up now. I really hope he gets past Mandula at some point. Mandula's struggling on those tyres, and Timu's had the most attempts at trying to get past in the last 5 laps. Here we go. Kid up to P7. Pedro and Redbot together. Oh, as they head down into the braking zone. Pedro just slightly ahead. Ooh, contact there on the exit.
Seems to be alright.
Our lead battle has opened up slightly, 1.45 seconds now, the gap between the top two. We'll get an update at the line as they come across start-finish. The gap is unchanged. It's the same as it was.
Was that Eoin in the air? He got massive airtime there.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of liberties at that chicane. Mandula's gone wide at the final corner, and that's going to let Soini have another go. Will he actually go from...
Gabor's suspension's broken. I'm pardon the interruption, but a complete suspension failure for Gabor on the rear left.
So RTFR XL last week, he managed to do the entire race in the LX4 on a track that had an actual jump in it. And now in an RB4, which is known for being tough, in a sprint race, 7 laps in, Gabor snapped the suspension arm. Well, didn't think I'd be saying that today, but there we are. He's that's gone pretty wrong for him. Soini's managed to get past Mandula finally, and now sets his sight on Magic.
But Magic was behind.
Magic was behind too. So yeah, Magic's just done the both of them whilst we were watching Gabor in the pits. Here's Redbot and Yari.
These two should have plenty of mutual respect. They're long-time racers at this stage. Redbot holding the 15th and chasing Pedro Bior down. So we could have more battles with 3 to go, or 2.5, as the leaders are certainly charging away.
Magic's crashed and he's on his roof. And he's gone out of the race. So after getting past Soini and Mandula pretty quickly, he's slammed into the tyres at the kink and he's flipped the car. So that's him out. Gabor's plummeted down the order. He's back on the track now. He jumped into chat briefly there to complain about something. And he's back out driving again. So hopefully he has a issue-free end to this race, but not the race he wanted, I'm sure, in P20.
Certainly not. From Mandula's point of view, I think he can start to let off a little bit. The hit Mooley is about 5 seconds back, so Mandula, with those painful front tires, should concede. This is the best he's going to get.
I mean, it's over a 3-minute lap. You can't let off that much.
No, that's fair, but yeah, within reason.
Yeah, you can afford to lose about 3 seconds a lap and still retain the lead, but that's a lot of time. And he's not been lapping that slowly, I don't think. So he might be safe from behind. We'll have to wait and see. But there are some fast cars in this battle. We've got Pedro Biar going for another move around the outside of Thamuli, and it might be done before they even get to the braking zone. Yes, it is. Thamuli locking up quite dramatically there, and luckily avoids any incident. Doesn't get the best of exits, but he is still there. Keep an eye on this as they head down towards the next sector. Will Thamuli fancy slinging one up the inside? No, thinks better of it.
No, I did spot briefly Sidus Unite in 24 and 25, that section. He was running sideways on the grass, so I don't know how badly that cost him. It couldn't have been that much if Ricardo's only a 315 compared to a 316, but definitely unorthodox driving from Unite, possibly losing a bit of patience.
Yeah, in the 2 laps we've got to go, I'm more excited about the battle from P3 to P5. These guys are bunching up together. Donny's catching Twin Cam now, and Merenwe's still there too. So this battle for the final step on the podium could get pretty spicy. I'd love to know who this is, Merenwe. Yeah, a name I've not heard of, but definitely a blast from the past with that livery. Showing that he's still got it in P5. Oh, Grable, it's Jan Laprovol.
Oh, of course, yes. Wow.
Yeah, Jan Laprovol using a name to throw us off. That would explain why he's so high up. Welcome back to the series, Jan. Good to see you.
So great return to form here with 5th place.
Yeah, good stuff. There we go.
Pedro and Redbot having another battle. Pedro really hanging on for dear life with these sweeping curves to the left and the right. Oh, red button not able to get by. You can just see on the onboards from earlier, a few seconds ago, just couldn't find that space to make a move. Now, looking from the back of Pedro's roof, this should be the chance to really pull away for a bit, mostly flat out section. And now they're heading to that treacherous chicane. Yeah, that's okay, but Redbot might have seen a better opportunity now. The inside was open, just able to use the four-wheel drive, get the power down in time.
Yeah, there's battles up and down the field around here. I mean, it's a fun track. This is for sure. Around the alternate layout, it adds this little villa section to this villa loop to the lap as Redbot decides now is the time he wants to try and get past Pedro. That's a good move into the hairpin. Pedro did what Nico did and went quite wide on the braking.
Yeah, it paid off, and Pedro, yeah, be disappointed with that. But Mandula is the driver they have to catch up to.
Yeah, Redbot's got that chicane all wrong. He got the chicane right initially, but went really wide onto the grass, lost traction, and that's allowed Pedro to get straight back past down the straight. So all that hard work just been undone by a slight error at the exit of the chicane. He bounced off the tyre stack as he went out of it. So that's that for now. The leaders are coming across the start-finish line to start the final lap. 3 seconds almost between the top two. So what's happened to Unite, but he's definitely gone off the boil. And yeah, the gap came down slightly across start-finish, but not enough, I don't think, to close these two up unless Rick makes a horrendous mistake on this last lap. It is going to be close, though, between Twin Cam and Donny. Jan's backed off the pace a little bit. In fact, it's gone up it's gone up to 5 seconds now between Maranui and Donny. So let's keep an eye on this third place battle. It's the closest battle in the top bunch of cars. Well, actually, I say that.
Yes. Yeah.
Here comes Yoni on Maranui. So yeah, Maranui's had an issue. Jan. Is he going to lose a place to Yoni? This would be quite a comeback for Yoni if he can get this 5th place. Started well down the order. Still 20-odd seconds off the lead, of course, but when you've got that many cars to get through, that's actually not that bad over a sprint distance. So Jan running a bit wide. That's going to be a battle for the flag, I think. Those two pretty close on pace at the moment. Eagles managed to get past Yarda, so I don't know if Yarda had a mistake on this lap or something, but that's a change. But yeah, as Donny hits the wall, that's not going to be helping him get any closer. Twin Cam is going to be looking in his mirrors, but he knows he's only got a couple of corners to go. If he can keep it clean, he should be okay. Donny's pushing hard, though. You can see throwing everything at this final lap.
Yeah, it would be cruel on Twin Cam. He's held 3rd place ever since the getaway on the first lap. Had very good traction over Mandula, and then he was battling the Sidus guys for about 2 or 3 laps. Then he settled into his rhythm. But Donny wants the 3rd place at the last gasp.
Yeah, both cars went a little bit deep into that hairpin. But as they head up to the chicane, this is about who is braver on the final lap. Who's going to push the hardest? This really is a tricky corner. Both of them lift slightly, but it was Twin Cam who was on the brakes, and that's going to give Donny a sniff. It's tempting from this range to dive on the final lap. This is his best opportunity to get it. He thinks about it. He's forced Twin Cam into a little bit of a tighter line, which means he can cut back, and he is doing so, but he's cut back too early and he's gone into the back of him. I mean, that was good defending there from Twin Cam. He put his car right on the apex, and that meant that Donny couldn't get the switchback, but if Donny had gone a bit deeper and maybe timed that a bit better, that could have been it. But yeah, one major corner, one tight corner for Twin Cam, and it is his position. But as I mentioned that, Rick Cardle is rounding the final corner now with an 8-second lead somehow over Unite. Where is Rick Cardle going? Is he just taunting us? Yes, he is. Cross start finish he comes.
Sure, why not?
To win? Yeah, why not indeed. Then it's going to be Unite coming across the line in second place, but that's quite a big gap in the end between those two. It'll be a bit of a wait, but it will be Twincam who comes across the line in P3. Congrats to him. He takes up the final podium position. Then it is Iron Donny who was closing down
side
at
by
the
side.
end.
No, not quite. Marinway holds on.
Jan Laprovot comes across the line in P5. Yoni Katila, after a drive through the field, finishes 25 seconds off the lead in P6. 2 to the horn across the line comes Kid in 7th. Good for him. Then it's Soini in P8. He'll be pleased with that. It's a bit of a wait then for Mandula because he's had some tyre issues. But in the end, he was able to keep P9 ahead of this gaggle of cars that are about to come up the hill. Pedro Biar, followed by Redbot. Then we've got Thamuli.
Oh, watch out for this one now. 3 wide, nearly.
Yeah, that's Yari Katila coming across the line in P13. Rony himself in P14. And Fragmaster's number, who I don't think we saw on camera once this race, in P15.
No, he was kind of stuck in the no man's land. Wasn't really able to give him airtime. But he was really close to Rony on the inside at the 29th corner. Final hairpin, just couldn't get the grip over Rony to beat him over the line, but it was about 0.07 of a second. That's all it was.
The last time we saw Victory Lane here, there was a certain driver using an evergreen skin blocking the ramp, but no such problems today. Magic is, well, I think he's only just finished the race himself, or has he? I think he's, did he disconnect? No, he rolled it, didn't he? So that is why he is not there. Ricciardo takes up his mantle on the Rony's Tuesday Fun Race Victory Lane. And yeah, what a victory it was. He's finished quite a margin then ahead of Unite in the end. And continuing our rundown, it was Igor who came across the line in 16th, Yada in P17th, Monty McCarry for ZFRL in P18, Gabor, not the race he wanted, P19, and Tilo Falkenberg crosses the line in P20. I believe that is everybody, Eoin.
Yeah, everybody who made the finish.
Although there may be... Oh no, pit lane race is coming, and then there's LG Meese. Sorry we forgot those guys. LG Meese will be along shortly, I assume. But yeah, congrats to Rick. Absolutely flawless race at the end. Didn't go all of his way, of course. Big battles with his teammate Unite, but that will extend his team, extend his championship lead ever so slightly over his teammate. But yes, Mandula, who was high up in the championship, and Yoni, who was high up in the championship, they will lose a little bit of points to those two, because Twincam, Eindoni, Marenui, and Kid and Soini have thrown their hats in the ring. LG Meese is just coming around the final corner.
Yeah, a bit of a slog, but thankfully he can call himself a finisher. Just on the final straight now.
Had a difficult race, but here he comes across the line to round out 22 finishes of RTFR 261, 17th round of the 2021 season. And let's go down the full orders, please, Owen.
There you go. Let's begin with the race winner, Ricciardo, in a time of 32 minutes and 47 seconds. It looked like Sidus Unite was going to battle him to the end, but it was eventually a bit of a stroll. But it's credit to Twincam. He got third place extremely early on and held on. Donny must have made a little mistake at the final stretch. That meant he was a little bit further behind, but fourth place, fantastic result. Maranui Ivan Laprovot makes a stellar return to driving in fifth place, or at least driving that we can see him. Then from the sixth place down, we've got True Alpha, SPTV's Kid, Timu Soini, Mandula, and Pedro Bior complete the top 10. Then we've Redbot, the Hifmuli, Yarkatila, Rony, Number, Igor, Yaroslav Dunleak, Monty Macari, Sidus Gabor, and SPTV's Falca for the top 20. Pit Lane Racer and LG Meese made it to the finish line and are credited in 21st and 22nd. Less fortunate runs there for Maciek, Ivanov, and especially Lorenzo, who was a very, very strong contender for results if it wasn't for a disconnect.
Yeah, he was on for a podium, wasn't he? Because he was in P3 at the start and just didn't go his way, or P4. I have to refresh my memory. And yeah, unfortunately, at the beginning of the race, he timed out, which is always a shame. Ricardo, as you mentioned, with the fastest lap of 3:15.3, which is a good time indeed. Yeah, I suppose all that's left to be said, Owen, is congrats again to the Sidus team for another victory in Rony's Tuesday Fun Race. They'll be extending both their lead in the Drivers' Championship and the Teams' Championship with this event. And there's Twin Cam coming to say hello to his rival on the podium. So that brings our coverage of RTFR for another week to a close. Thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box, Owen. It was fun. And we hope to see everybody next time. What have we got coming up next? Well, we have the UFR at Aston for your entertainment in 2 weeks' time. And we hope to see you for that. That's it from all of us here on Sim Broadcast. We hope you enjoyed this one. See you next time.
You're welcome, Pete, and so long, everybody.